Hello, hi, howdy. Welcome to another review by Forges of Strife. This time I'm going to do a video for Batman vs. Darth Vader. There's an alternate ending one, and I will probably do that one next. But I'm going to do the first one first. I know I've watched one in the past. I don't remember which one I've watched. Hi, Ray. And, Ray, move. But I will go over my personal opinions on things. Oh, before I continue, of course, support their the original creators. Their information here: Bad in the Sun. It's Super Power Beatdown episode 14. All their information is right there. I will try to put the link in my description if I remember to do so. Anyways, again, we got Batman versus Darth Vader. Batman is universally, generally accepted that if he's going to fight someone and he's prepared for it, he's going to win. He is from the DC universe where all the core well-known figures, Superman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, all have godlike powers, if not on god level themselves. And you got Batman, who is a normal human. I mean, he's not really normal. He's super rich. He's very smart. He's very talented. But physically, he's a normal human. And he has so many suits, so many gadgets, such a great tactician, that he can go toe-to-toe with Superman, Wonder Woman, The Flash. He has a plan to beat each and every one of them. So if he's going into a fight and he knows what he's going into, he's going to win. So my first thought is if Batman is traveling to Vader, knowing what he's going to fight, he is going to have body armor that, while it may not be as good as a full suit of Cortosis armor and stopping a lightsaber, it's probably going to negate most of a lightsaber's lethality, as well as probably have some item, some token, an amulet, something that provides some magical support against the Force. Again, I don't think the Force is really magic, though in my opinion magic is just science unexplained. So we already know part of how the Force works. The amount of midichlorians you have in your body determines how powerful you are with the Force, how much you can connect to the Force. So that part is explained what the Force actually is. Is it magic? Is it just living essence? Well, that doesn't make any sense because you can move metal objects and throw them through the air. So there's a bit more to it, but I think generally a magical protection thing, like an amulet, could help protect him against a Force choke or something like that. Force lightning, not so much, but then again, it's not like Vader actually knows Force lightning. Of course, we all know Vader. I believe they both have equally skilled martial fighters, probably about the same amount of experience. Both know enough different fighting styles that even though they're not familiar with each other's fighting styles, they would probably be able to quickly analyze each other and pick the fighting style best suited for that moment. So I think as far as just raw fighting styles go, they're equal. Darth Vader does have cybernetics, so he does have augmented body, so he's a bit more than a normal human. However, he doesn't really have ideal cybernetics. Again, Palpatine made sure he didn't have the best on the market. He wanted Vader to still pose a threat to the galaxy, but not a threat to himself. So, considering that Batman could take down Cyborg and probably has taken down cyborgs and androids and could take down cybernetics that are the top of their game, I don't think that really gives Vader an edge. Honestly, going into the fight, if Batman is prepared, I don't see Vader standing much of a chance. But that, I'm going to say, is true for just about everyone. If Batman is prepared, you might as well give up and hope he does his no-kill policy with you, because you're done. So, and I've skipping past all the intro on their video. Nothing against them. I just want to save time. Feel free to go back and watch. Definitely go back and watch their video. They'll introduce you to the cast and some of their own opinions. I've jumped past that, given my own. I love Vader and all, but I just don't see him standing a chance against the Bat. So, let's go full screen. Now that's best. And Batman versus Darth Vader. We have the Death Star and a Bat spaceship heading towards it. So obviously Batman is going to the fight.
Superman's distress signal is coming from that small moon.
That's no moon.
He's going to the moon, going to the Death Star. He's already aware that it is not a moon, it is a Death Star. He, of course, his gadgets and everything will give him a full readout of that, and I'm sure it can penetrate any shielding the Death Star has. So he knows what he's getting into. He is prepared. Once again, I'll say, I don't think he could take down the whole Death Star itself. I mean, if the Death Star, if he trying to take out the whole Death Star, there would just be too many fighters. He would probably get overwhelmed. But that's not what the fight is about. So let's continue.
Initiate cloaking mode.
Cloaking technology does exist in the Star Wars universe. However, it is very rare, even more rare at this time in the Star Wars chronologically. So they probably don't even have sensors actively searching for a cloaked ship, even if the type of cloaking that is used in Star Wars is the same that Batman would use, and that their detection would work. They're probably not even looking for a cloaked ship. Batman easily gets on the Death Star. He's looking around for Superman's distress signal to rescue him.
Oracle, I've located Superman.
Excellent. Then it looks like you're good to go.
There's something else I need.
Again, he knows what he's getting to the fight. He's getting prepared.
My lord, sensors indicate a breach of security in your armory.
He's here for the Kryptonian. Lock down cell blocks 3 and 4 and leave.
So Batman obviously went to his armory and got a spare lightsaber, since obviously Vader would have his own on hand. Assuming he got a lightsaber, which is most likely what he got. So it does show that either he was in a hurry or he wasn't quite familiar with Imperial security, in that he tripped a security sensor even getting into the armory, which I would have guessed he could have gotten by without tripping the security. So Batman's not perfect, but he was able to get onto the Death Star unnoticed, get all the way to Vader's personal armory unnoticed.
Leave the rest to me.
Oracle, I'm approaching Superman's location.
Now I just noticed something on his armor, Batman's armor. Where was it? Right? No, right here. Look on the back of his helmet. That looks unusual. My first thought is that is possibly some kind of additional guard, something on his helmet, to protect him against one of Vader's most known attacks, which is the Force Choke.
You've made a mistake coming here.
Release Superman. Why you still can.
You do not know the power of the dark side.
I'm assuming that was an EMP pulse that Batman just used. It shorted out whatever Vader had in his hand and did affect his suit. That is one thing I'm actually surprised Vader can get up from, because something shorting out his suit makes me think of what a lightning effect would have as well. And that would seem like something Palpatine would not have as a quick reboot on his system, because I don't recall there being many EMP type weapons. Take that back, in Clone Wars there is an EMP bomb that is used during the Clone Wars animated series. So it is possible he planned to have a failsafe in the armor in case an EMP attack did hit Vader. But that technology is, again, really rare, and I'm not even sure how much Sidious would have planned for that.
I'll take my science over your magic any day. Let's see how well you breathe now.
The Force will sustain me long enough.
Exactly. Better focused on you than me.
You underestimated me.
Again, that's another point. Batman went into this fight knowing who he was facing. He knew he needed Vader to focus his power on sustaining his own life, which the dark side can do. If anything, look at Darth Maul. So even with the system short-circuited, shut down while it's rebooting, Anakin has to, well, Vader, I'm sorry, Anakin does not exist at this point. Vader has to divert some of his attention to keeping himself alive while the suit is either reboots from the EMP attack or is restarted manually, whatever it takes.
I underestimate nothing.
The one part I'm curious here is, whose lightsaber did he get out of the armory? That I don't know. I can easily see that Vader took some from trophies from some of the Jedi he killed post Order 66. Just personally, I'm curious which one it was. Though my personal opinion, I think they should have given Batman a green lightsaber. Green, you think, is more of a Guardian type, and I see Batman more as a Guardian because he doesn't like to kill, rather than blue. But that's a personal preference.
You cannot win.
Okay, there we see Vader actually initiating a reboot on his armor. So we see that it does need to be manually done. One thought I just had was that while Batman would know how to fight with a sword, I have no doubts about that. It's even mentioned in, I forget which book, but fighting with a sword and fighting with a lightsaber are really two completely different things. Not necessarily because of the blade itself, but because the blade is weightless. When you're fighting with a sword, you're used to having the weight of the blade, which is much heavier than the hills, and you have to compensate for that. Whereas with a lightsaber, there's no weight to it. It's a completely different fighting style. And to see Batman going toe-to-toe, basically with Vader, in a lightsaber duel, tells me that he's probably had practice with similar weapons, which wouldn't surprise me.
You wasted your opportunity to defeat me. Now, you will die.
Your theatrics will not help you. How's this for theatrics?
Okay, before I even see how this was ending, like I said, I've seen this before. I don't think I've seen one with an alternate ending, so I'm not sure if I've seen this one or the alternate ending. But this in itself, I don't think these blasts would have really affected Vader at all. During the Clone Wars as Anakin, he would have had much similar experiences fighting against the droid army. So he could have easily force shielded himself against this blast. And why he didn't just crush the bat ship whatever it's properly called, when you first saw it. I don't know, but I personally don't think this blast would hurt Vader at all. I think the main issue he might have is regaining footing, because I think the blast would damage where he was standing, so he may fall to the actual docking floor, but that's my opinion. Did more damage than I would have thought, but again, he's still standing. The only part of his armor that seems to be damaged is the mask. This is telling me that somehow Batman has warded his ship against use of the Force. Because now with the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, and I'm pretty sure that came out after this, but Starkiller came out before this, that we've seen Force users able to manipulate ships far bigger than Batman's ship. And it, again, would not surprise me, Batman, being aware of the fight he was going into, somehow put a ward or something on his ship to protect it against Force manipulation. Okay, again, before I go on to see the results of the ship being torn in half by the Force, that does not surprise me. I could easily see Vader being able to pull that off, even with the ship being warded against magical attacks. Vader is a Force user on a whole different level, so even with some level of protection, it's only going to be able to do so much against it. However, Batman has contingency plans as much as Sidious does, so I would not be surprised if he had a personal shield inside the cockpit, or he ejected at the last minute, or somehow survived the explosion himself. He survived the explosion, looking relatively unscathed himself.
Your lack of faith is your downfall.
Now that surprises me, that Vader was able to do a Force choke on him so easily. I'm sure Batman was weakened at this point, but I'd be 100% positive that he would have attempted to employ something that would have made a Force choke harder to pull off. Now, it was more of a Force neck snap than choke, but Vader, maybe it's just really worked up and really had the dark side flowing at that point, but I bet that took a lot of power from Vader to pull off.
Alright, let's see how the fans voted. We have 53% for Darth Vader and 47%.
Alright, again, I'm not going to include the rest because I want you to go back to the actual video and watch their version of it to see all the extra comments they have. This is just my commentary on it. I would have honestly, even though I wanted Vader to win, I would have voted for Batman, because since Batman was obviously going in prepared. So I'm assuming the alternate ending is with Batman winning, which is the one I think I actually saw before, but I'll still watch it again. So it is actually surprising that to see Darth Vader win. I mean, it's nice to see. I mean, no offense, but it's nice to see DC characters not win every fight, because they generally do. So that is my reaction to this. I really enjoyed it. So definitely go back and watch the actual video. I will put the link in the description, and support the original creators, as any good reactionist will tell you. So with that said, long days and pleasant nights.